he's also revisiting the loss of his brother. So this has got to probably gave you a lot of stuff to dig into as well.
Yeah, it's a comedy.
You are not allowed to go in because of the giant spiders that the crew have.
Oh my God.
What is wrong with you? Oh. Please tell me that was the weirdest thing you had to film?
Oh.
Not even.
All right, well, congratulations, you guys. How has your Comic-Con been so far?
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. And this is your second?
This is my second. I came when I was 17, and I cosplayed as Wonder Woman. So
Right.
this is a huge homecoming for me. I love New York Comic Con.
And speaking of homecoming, we have two New York natives right here. So we have and the cool thing is the new season is set obviously in New York. So for Hilary and Rob, let's talk about this new version. What can you tell us about going into this season? What do we get from this?
You know, I can start because then it's easier for you to have to be the one that closes. But I think that like for us, we really wanted to start with what is the book that is going to be something that everybody cares about, who loves Goosebumps, and a book that we didn't do anything with last season was Stay Out of the Basement. And so this season was really inspired by our love for that book, Stay Out of the Basement. And so everything kind of came from that. The character of Anthony being a botanist, and then the whole series came out from that.
Yeah. And there's a new mystery. So it's a lot of fun. It's really exciting. There's a lot of Stay Out of the Basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this season, seriously, do not go into the basement.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a new mystery that we have to unpack, and we have this amazing cast of actors who play these incredible characters that all come together to figure out what happened.
So tell us what is going on with your character, and how does their arrival kind of throw things out of whack?
Sure. So I play Anthony, as Rob mentioned, who's a botanist by profession. And yeah, I know. He has come home to the house he grew up in for the summer because to take care of his mom, actually, who's struggling with dementia. So it's a challenging moment, a chapter for Anthony, but the kids, his kids have, Cece and Devin, have come to stay with him for the summer, so that should be fun. And he's determined to make it, a great, fun summer in spite of a really difficult moment for the family. In the meantime, because he's on sabbatical or from his job, he's built a lab to continue his research in his mom's basement. And as you mentioned, I don't want the kids to go down there because they are not very respectful. It's weird. And it's really just to protect my research. At least that's the initial reason I don't want them to come down there. Dun, dun, dun. And yeah, I mean, the show is really about this outstanding young ensemble cast. I mean, Anna and I, pop in and out, but it's really them driving the story. And the one thing I'll say is that the thing that my son, played by Sam, gets into trouble right in the first episode. On a dare, he goes to revisit that fort, that abandoned fort, Taunton, and he breaks in along with everyone else. They all break in, and he unearths or accidentally uncovers this dark
Secret.
Don't give it away.
Yeah.
Don't give it away.
this
Dark problem.
And which it directly ties back to those kids who went missing 30 years before, one of whom was my brother.
So as your character, as Anthony is kind of like losing his mom, he's also revisiting the loss of his brother. So this has got to probably gave you a lot of stuff to dig into as well.
Yeah, it's a comedy. No, it is. I mean, I think the foundation for all of us is this backstory, this emotional, grounded backstory to the characters, but it really is a horror action comedy and with a lot of great suspense. So.
And one of your first horror projects.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I had such a good time. I'm such a fan of horror, and this was my first chance to do it. So thank you again for casting me. No, it was a blast.
Well, the Brewer House isn't the only place that weird stuff is happening. Obviously, as you saw from the trailer, and a haunted car. And so a lot of these kids get involved in stuff very quickly. So let's talk about this, as you said, like this incredible ensemble of young people. Let's go down. We'll start with you and explain who your character is. And my favorite thing is, what's their biggest problem?
Oh my God, he's got a lot of problems. He enters this group kind of being Frankie's very, very horrible boyfriend. And I think deep down he's a good guy, but he has a lot of internalized frustration and insecurities and jealousies, especially towards Devin's character, which kind of manifests into him being a bit of a bully, or a lot of a bully, and kind of gets him into trouble, which then in turn gets them into a lot of trouble, as you kind of see in the first episode. He's kind of the reason for a lot of the chaos that goes on. But a good guy at the core of it, I think. He's all right. He's okay.
He's a terrible neighbor.
Yeah, he's an awful neighbor and just a bad person. I don't know. Kind of, yeah.
All right.
But he's so cute.
I know. I know.
How about you, Galilea?
I play Frankie, and Frankie is going through so much this season. I don't know how she is able to handle it. But she's a Brooklyn native. She grew up in Gravesend, and she gets caught in a bit of a dilemma between these two over here. And it's really interesting because, you know, she starts off in the series with her boyfriend Trey, and it's not so much that she's trying to play with their hearts, but it's more so these kind of issues are reflected within herself because of what they represent. And so Trey is kind of that safety of growing up in Gravesend, and it's everything that she's ever known. And I think Frankie is very, very ambitious, but also can sometimes be very scared to leave her bubble. And so when Devin kind of comes into town, it's this whole thing, and she's like, maybe I can be adventurous, and maybe I can get out of this town and do something better with my life. But it's really interesting how all of these issues within herself is kind of reflected outwards and kind of displayed onto them as well.
All right. We're going to get to you in a second. How about you? So, Juvie.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex is a felon, fortunately. It was super fun to play, though. Alex she's an ex-con, and she is the daughter of this amazing woman right here.
Parenting.
Excellent parenting. Especially when you find out who she was when she was my age. But yeah, Alex deals with the haunted car, and for me, she was kind of like this little superhero action, and I'm a huge superhero nerd, just a nerd in general. So getting to play in this car and walking onto the set and playing with her was so fun, and then also being Latina, being from Brooklyn, representing the city it meant a lot to me, so I'm really happy.
Elijah?
What's happening? What's going on, y'all? Thank you. Thank you. So I play CJ, and CJ is a, let's say, not so great delivery driver. He eats people's food. A lot of egg rolls were consumed during the filming of this show.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Put on a couple pounds, but that's all right. But because of that, right, he feels like he's the eyes and ears of the town. He's the self-proclaimed Don of Gravesend, right? He thinks that he is really the dude. He's handsome, charming, you know. No, I think throughout the series, we see this really cool arc with CJ being this really big, bright, comedic kind of personality, sometimes being a bit much for people, but also seeing that, you know, this personality is a way for him to hide some of his insecurities that he has about himself, because he very much so is a dreamer, a very entrepreneurial person at heart, but he also knows that he is the delivery driver that can't show up on time, right? And so throughout exploring these mysteries along with this fantastic ensemble cast, he starts to grow into himself and really understand what it is to be yourself and love yourself. So it was a great pleasure playing him.
And he's like the mayor.
Exactly.
Like when you first meet him, you're like, oh, because he's kind of like our entry into the young scene. Like,
Right.
he's the one who invites them to the park. We meet everybody through that. I'm like, oh, this is a good kid. Aside from, clearly eating people's Uber.
Right, no, yeah, but you know, he's a great dude.
All right, and then
It's hungry.
Then we have Miss Ana Ortiz, who is just iconic. All right, icon, and she shows up as a cop. Lady cop with a juvenile daughter. Tell me about this person, because she's kind of no nonsense, but she's got some secrets, which I love, and she's also a bit of a badass. But she also has a history with this guy.
That's right.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. Who is she?
Well, she's definitely an around the way girl. What is up, Brooklyn? She's never left the neighborhood. She was, I think the reason why she tries to keep her kid on lock so much is because she knows in her past that she has some bad behavior that she's trying to atone for. And I think that was, why she became a cop. She sort of, I think what happened with the missing kids, his brother who went missing was my boyfriend, you guys. So, and so I think I feel really guilty about that. Can I say I was the one who did? Oh,
Beep. Spoiler.
But I definitely feel some type of responsibility for what happened to the kids back in the day. They were our friends. And so I think in atonement for that, she becomes a cop. She tries to really take care of the neighborhood. And, I think by being such a good neighborhood cop, she sort of fails her daughter a little bit. And
Just a little. I forgive you. It's okay.
But we have our time, and I've just had so much fun because I worked mostly with Francesca and David, and so I got to really have some juicy scenes where we just got to chew it up, and it was a blast. And shooting in New York, y'all, it was the best.
Hell yeah.
The best.
New York's awesome to film in. You can actually use the subway. You go through the MTA, and
Right.
they let you do it.
Nice. Okay,
It's
thank you,
awesome.
MTA.
But you have to be out at an exact time, and you cannot go over by even 30 seconds. Or they'll lock you down in the subway.
Right.
We learned that the hard
So-
way.
We all learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was a crazy night.
What about the rest of you? Did you guys get to do anything in any place in the city that was just super thrilling or just wild that you got to go to that you never thought you'd be filming in?
Well, Frankie works at a coffee shop, and it was really funny because we would shut it down for filming, and people would just walk in there and, "Where's my coffee?" Like, what are you doing? And they would start ordering, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I'm actually an actor," and it's like the weirdest interaction ever. So sorry to my New Yorkers.
I will say we worked near so many pizza shops, and obviously the food in New York is incredible. And there were many late nights where I would order a pizza to my trailer with ziti on top of it at 4 a.m. You can only do that here, so that was amazing.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I mean, for me, I would say that right there, Fort Totten was just,
Yeah.
that was scary, bro. Like, oh my God. I'm sort of a scaredy cat in general. I am. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I have this weird kind of fear of dark places that I've never been. So
Good show to
being
be
there.
on.
Yeah, right?
Show.
Right. But yeah, it was dark. The air was crisp, cold. It really did help us bring authenticity to the characters, and I'm sure you'll be able to see it on screen.
We never told you guys this until now, but they were giant-sized spiders.
Oh.
Excuse me?
In that tunnel.
What?
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't tell me. I wouldn't have shot there. I would have said
really,
no.
I debated it for a long time.
Is that true? Is that true?
With not telling you.
Is that?
Wait, the Fort Totten
There
tunnel?
are other tunnels.
We were in that every
we
day.
were not allowed to go in because of the giant spiders that the crew found.
Oh my God.
For real.
What is wrong with you?
Oh my.
That's all Anna screaming while watching the show that she knows.
I thought the puppet was bad. And please tell me that was the weirdest thing you had to film.
Oh.
Not even.
Listen, I mean, it's kind of a dream job for all of us as actors to do a scene like that, and everyone in the cast had that kind of chance, thanks to these guys, because none of that is there when you're shooting it. You're tapping into that childlike wonder and that simple kind of what if. And you have to use your imagination and try to do the best you can and hope that the special effects team, visual effects team will make it work. And how great are they? I mean.
Are you gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it.
We can do.
We'll do it together at the same time.
We have. I don't know what we're supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
We have an episode. I guess I'll tee it up and tell me to stop. What happens in the opening of our show happened in 1994, and one of the characters has a camcorder to videotape the dare. And in a later episode, our cast finds that. No? You're saying no? Okay. We have a found footage episode.
We can always say, we just leave it at that. It's a found footage episode.
We have a found footage episode.
But
here's the cool part.
Is that we have Eduardo Sanchez, director of Blair Witch Project. And Ed was amazing, and there's nobody who's a better expert on found footage. And there's so many really amazing techniques and stuff that you use in making a film like that, and to have his expertise is, I think we watched the first cut and we're just in stunned silence at just how incredible it was.
And there's no visual effects he shot it on a high 8 camera that we had to find on eBay or something.